Do you think I have enough zippers? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Faren, your fashion guru, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 notions you should always have in stock. Don't forget to subscribe because starting next Thursday, we have a new series called 3-Minute Thursdays that is going to go through all of these notions and more in 3 minutes. So hit the little bell and let's get started. So this is my fashion studio. My name is Faren. What the heck is a notion? A notion is something that is not fabric. In the sewing world, it is everything but fabric. And why are you going to be stockpiling these notions? Reason number one, and the most important reason, is you don't want to run out to the store while you're in the midst of a project. This is the most annoying thing. Reason number two, maybe you're in a pandemic and you can't go out to the store. Maybe that is a possibility. Reason number three is maybe you've changed your mind in terms of a style, or maybe something wasn't working. Maybe your button wasn't working, so you need a snap. You know, that's a big thing. Let's get into it. It is an obvious one. It is thread, okay? There, look at it. This is my small bin of thread. It's a little tangled. Thread comes in all different colors, all different qualities and gauges. One of my favorites is elastic thread, okay? I suggest getting at least a roll or two of this. And if you stay tuned for our 3-Minute Thursdays, I will go into actually how we can use this. So, number two, we have buttons. Buttons, 4-hole, 2-hole, and shank. It's good to have different sizes and colors and shapes and textures on hand. I also made a video called 30-Second Button Challenge, which you should check out here. I show you how to put on a button in less than 30 seconds. Yes, it can be done. Number three, we have pins. A good tailor always needs pins, and a lot of them, because I lose these things all the time. Hand needles, these are good for obviously having on hand. Also, you should have different types and gauges of needles for your machine. Bobbins. I really hate when I have to wind a bobbin in the middle of a project. So I have a tendency to have a couple of that color on hand, which is why I have so many bobbins. Check that out. That's my stash right here, and some at my machine. I'm a little obsessed. Snaps. I prefer snaps over buttons because you can install snaps in a few different ways. So there's the metal kind, these industrial snaps that can be installed with a hammer. So super easy. All you have to do is just cut a hole and hammer it on. And I'll show you in a segment from 3-Minute Thursdays. So again, hit the bell. I also have this snap tape, which is pretty handy if you're making bodysuits. I also have sew-on snaps that come in different sizes and shapes and colors. I usually keep the silver and the black on hand at all times. I can also show you how to do a couture snap, which uses the self fabric to cover the snap. Stay tuned for that because that's gonna be awesome. Next is we have Twill tape and bias tape. I like to keep these on hand because I use twill tape for basically everything. I use it for my Judy, I use it for taping shoulders, I use it for stabilizing a waistline. Bias tape, on the other hand, I use for covering seam allowance or encasing and finishing seam allowance. It can also be used for many other things, but you gotta stay tuned for that. Next, elastic. I like to keep different sizes in stock. 1 inch, ½ inch, and 1/4. This is because sometimes you just need an elastic waist on those pajama pants, and you don't always know what size and what color. But keep the basics in stock, black and white in all the sizes, okay? What do we got? What do we got? Hook and eyes are always good to keep on hand because these things are good for pants and dresses and skirts. I tend to keep a few of these sizes in stock along with this hook and eye tape, which is really easy to install. Scissors. I like to keep 2 pairs of fabric scissors on hand at all times. One of them being these babies, and the other probably a little bit smaller. I mean, you don't have to keep 2 pairs on, but I like to keep them around just in case the other isn't as sharp. I also have these pinking shears, which are probably not essential to have, but good for the beginner sewer if you don't have a serger yet. These are good for finishing the seam allowances because the pinking shear helps the edges not fray. We also have these. These are my favorite. I have a tendency to lose these quite often, so I keep at least a few pairs around. These are really good for clipping the threads by your machine. These, on the other hand, are good for embroidery threads if you have an embroidery machine. These are good to have around. These are also good for keeping when you're doing any buttons, close cutting. You need like a really sharp pair of scissors. The pièce de résistance, the last one, my favorite, zippers. This one is a plastic zipper. It also is closed at the end. You'll see that at the end it has a stopper. That means it's a closed zipper. I also like to keep an open zipper. What do I mean by open zipper? This. See that? This is an open zipper. This is also a number 5. This is a 5 gauge metal zipper. I also keep these invisible zippers. This is a nylon invisible zipper. It's closed. You will rarely find invisible zippers that open because it's impossible to put them on. So I really like using these invisible zippers for dresses and actually pillows. Believe it or not, I make a lot of pillows with invisible zippers. I also have nylon zippers, which are easy to cut and to make a stopper just with a thread loop. And I can show you that in a Thursday segment. There you have it. Stay tuned for our 3-Minute Thursday segment starting next Thursday. We're gonna be talking about each one of these notions, how to install, and what qualities you're gonna want to keep in stock. So if you haven't subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and I'll see you next week. Ciao for now. I'm still in frame?
Yes.
And today we're going to be talking about